Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. I am happy though. I was not expecting to get a new PB tonight. Like that's why, like once I get sub 23, it was just like all the pressure's off. Because at that point, you really have to have such good luck in the bosses that even if you play perfectly all night long for 4 hours, you're still not guaranteed to ever come close to it. And so I'm looking for consistency, getting lots of those runs in the 23 to 24 minute range. Which boss luck is generally going to cost you at most like 90 seconds. It has to be really atrocious on either Behemoth or Gerard. I guess maybe Geist to push you over it. Geist is the least likely because I haven't ever seen him do as many fireballs as Behemoth jumps. But as always, Gerard's there at the top. Two PBs in a row. That's going to be tough at this point. I am nice and warmed up for a lot of the moves. Actually, I was surprised at the beginning of the night, considering I hadn't done Astal for a few days, that everything worked. Even though it felt a little bit like I was rusty, I was still able to get all the moves done. No major mistakes. Like, this is a game where I can immediately feel if I have gotten enough practice in beforehand. Like the controls and where to do the jumps. You just have to have that anticipation for a lot of them. You'll either feel it or you won't. But once you've gotten a couple of runs done, then it's like, oh, now I know exactly where things are coming up. In that regard, Astal's pretty different from a lot of platformers that have an 8-bit heritage. Basically, you can't really have any good visual cues because the backgrounds are just so complicated. There's not like a nicely repeating tile pattern or something like that where you can line yourself up on the pixel every time. And so it's a lot more about feel and about timing than a lot of other platformers that I've played. Oh, that was a little bit too early for the pig boost at the end. See, we'll stick at the bats. I saw that I got the quarter-second slowdown for summoning Lita there. Yeah, it's still not bad. There's something about the dark to light transition if you are also summoning Lita at the same time that the game will kind of freeze up for a little bit. There's many spots in the game that are like that where there are those micro pauses. And a lot of them you just try to put them in spots where you're not doing anything really dangerous. Like the first time I have a micro pause where I'm in midair is like Deep Forest, and then I've got one more at Volcanic Valley to worry about. And 1, 2. Let's try facing to the right tonight. I think I've been doing all the previous ones to the left, which is my preferred direction, because for some reason, directionality actually makes a difference for me kind of seeing where I should be doing some of Astal's moves. That's why I like doing Geist from the right-hand side rather than the left. It just feels better for what the timing is like. I guess it also feels kind of like the timing for Forest Fiend at the same for the overhead smash there. Maybe that's why I'm better at that, but Evil Eye, for some reason, is the opposite. I want to face to the left instead of the right. No way of explaining it. Might have been a little bit late. Okay, she still got all the birds. I probably should not have stopped and just gone for it there. That was slightly slower than making a gamble that all the birds in the final set of 3 would be gone by the time I arrived. Pig boost up and over. For some reason, there's so many ways that you can recover from that stage, and it seems to be no difference in time. I don't understand it. It's not an auto-scroller. It's not locked in any way. You don't have to wait for any platform cycles, but I guess you have enough momentum for a lot of those that it saves having to turn around and slow down later on in the route. Like, normally I have to do a little bit of a pause at the very last pig-bird combo so that I go over the bird instead of bounce off its beak. Maybe that's making the difference whenever I have a slowdown before. It sets those up better. I've thought about this before, but I wonder if there's a pacifist route through these birds. Like, could you actually avoid killing anything? Some of the bird stacks look pretty hard. You have to maybe damage boost your way through them. Just something to think about for play arounds on Auto-Scroller. Alright, and fruit. And mid-air hover. Quick jump. That one you can also mid-air hover using the smash attack instead of going underneath of those, but I like the quick jump instead. Can you jump over them with a ground pound of the beast? Except for the stack of 3, it works. But it'll depend a little bit on the timing for it. He's got a bit of a delay before he throws you, and then also once you get to the second phase where he's doing the continuous ones, he doesn't actually respond to the ground pounds anymore. Yeah, the problem with the stack of 3 is that it's got a stack of 2 before it, so you've got a limited window for when you can actually launch yourself up into the air. And that restricts how you're able to actually clear over the top of it. You have to have enough height before it goes by for it to actually get up there. And then you have to hover long enough, which you can extend your hover with a smash, but it'd be really tight just getting up there in the first place. Alright, pretty good for his speed. Man, now look at those consistencies of the splits. Just wringing every last tenth of a second I can out of that. Up to Volcanic Valley. This is where I've got RNG for the first time. So I'm almost certainly going to lose time here because I'll have to either stop or get hit by rocks. Or just not be able to do the first damage boost depending on if I get my jump dropped while I'm trying to clear the pig. Not this pig, but the next pig after it. Right there's a micro stutter that's pretty frequent. That one worked though. Jump, blow him out. Be really fast so you don't get bonked in behind. Jump happily to get me food, and hope for good rocks. Already bad rocks. Double bad rocks. Okay, I can clear that one at least. That one's good, so we can get to the boulder in time. Once you get to the boulder, you get a little bit of cover, but then he could be hit by rocks getting thrown ahead of you, which is your last bit to worry about. And there's another bad rock, so yep. Almost 2 seconds of bad rocks. Which is not bad if you never stop. If you slow down to try to dodge them, then you can lose way more time than that. That's why I hope to get a good full recovery instead of a single HP fruit on those. If you only have a single HP recovery to work with, then you might get such a bad pattern that you have to stop or just reset at that point. I think Chaos just goes for it. Like if it's bad rocks, then reset and start the game again from the beginning. I like to do more runs past this point though, given that there's so much boss RNG yet to come. Alright, 2 down, 1 more to go. This is the one where Leda is really critical. Luckily, I've gotten a better setup for this recently. It's really helped for consistency on this fight. There we go, that should be good. Got him at the very last instant again. So I could pick up like a second and a half there if we get better timing for Leda killing the boss in midair for the head. Like if she does it on like her second pass around instead of the 5th. It's so big on that. Alright, we got a bird ladder going. That's probably the worst of the restarts. For some reason, that's a lot worse than the one at the second spot. In fact, that's probably the worst dash overall, because it's getting better for the initial one. I just have to kind of recognize when it's not immediately engaging. And here we go, Behemoth time. Now I've got a 1-jump Behemoth this time to compare against. One jump. All right. Okay. I guess that's a slightly better kill on the end. Still not getting the double Leda hit, but a 1-jump Behemoth is not losing any time. Unfortunately, not gaining any time either. So where can I next gain time? I guess if I get a 0 tornado frostbite is not required. Looks like I can still take a 1 tornado frostbite, as long as it's a 1 cycle, 1 tornado, and not be too far behind. Damage boost. Long jump. This was a long night of trying out all these different combinations from the frogs to see if I could get good patterns for the snow dropping, so I'd have to stop for that, as well as which ones you want to actually kill versus damage boosting through. It was a fun one though. I actually enjoy routing streams like that. Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay. Not fatal. You got a little bit of leeway there on those crumbling platforms, but not much. Oh, good. Got the lucky frog, so I'm not down compared to most of my runs for life. Lost about 3/4 of a second, though, having to get back up there. So the crumbling platforms, once you step onto that first one, it's really fast. And if you drop the dash at all, you will quickly have the bottomless pit to be your company. Alright, got the first platform to work. Uh-oh! Bad physics. Bad physics! Alright, we're doing this blind. Okay, I think that's going to throw off the rest of these. Come on, work. Alright. Didn't break the cycle on the platforms, at least. So we got our smashers almost correct. I should be able to fix that. Yeah, everything else should work. So just gonna damage boost through these guys, and I get my second bird again. All right, not too bad. I was panicking for a second when I got the bad physics boost, but as long as you can navigate there blind and it doesn't cause extra birds to spawn in, which is one of the really big problems for it. If it changes where the birds spawn on the screen, it'll dramatically affect the lag you have on the way up those platforms, and that's the number one spot where the game's just going to completely freak out. Look, Adrian. Yep, there is a lot of skipping in the music. Basically, I'm moving so fast that it's trying to spawn too many enemies in at once, and so it can't actually play the background music. At first I thought my disc was scratched, but then I realized it was 100% consistent on like other copies of the game as well. It's like, oh, I figured out what's going on. There's a few other spots in the game where you'll also hear skipping, but that's like the biggest one for it. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, didn't get a good crystal spawn. Okay, tornado once. I can deal with... Come on, be done. Okay. One tornado is workable. That's... Well, I mean, I didn't get a chance to gain time in there, but I had to react really fast to seeing I had the crystals in the wrong spots. You try to manipulate where they spawn in, but it's not consistent. And lucky he was relatively well behaved, because he could have done a second tornado in that circumstance. If you don't get the crystals flipped back at him, then he's not guaranteed to behave for the next move as well. Yeah, rushed to launch in the US at least. The Japanese version should have had its normal development time, but the US, they had to rush it out because they launched the Saturn 4 months early to beat the PlayStation out, which turned out to be an enormous mistake, because they didn't have very many games and it cost a lot more than the PlayStation did. It just was a sales disaster. That's one of the reasons why the US box art is so awful. That and the voice acting. Alright, good crawler time. I can pick up time on the crawler luck here. That would be huge. So there's our first cycle. You always get one cycle. But this is where you can sometimes see it go reverse twice. Let's see what we get. Ooh, good crawlers. That saved me 7 seconds right there. Actually, I forget if I got a hit in there as well, so that might have saved more than 7 seconds if so. Okay, not gonna get the good zip. Still can get the cycle, but without the zip, it cost me a half second. It's supposed to be a very strong push to the left, but there's a way to set it up so that you get zipped to the right on that last pair of feet. Alright, smash. Smash under frog, smash frog down. Damage boost. And let's see if I can get the jump here. Oh yeah, just barely. Perfect. That's a really hard one to get that last one. I haven't been trying that, but it just kind of naturally worked out before earlier in the night. It's like, you know, that wasn't as hard as it was in practice, so I might as well go for it consistently.
Yeah, Astal じゃないか。君には例
Yeah, I think emulator problems are more that the interest was low. I mean, I play on consoles anyway, so whether emulators are available or not is mostly an issue for whether I can do certain types of practice for speedruns. But I do lots of no reset runs on console, so it is only a very small thing not having working emulators for systems.
ありがとう。だがこれで君はもう役立たずだ。役に立たないものは処分しなくちゃいけないね。さよなら、アスタル。
Alright, Lita's gonna get me some food. We're gonna get our guaranteed fireball, and then no more fireballs, please. Alright, got a good set of orbs there to start. Give me some more orbs, please. More orbs, more orbs. There you go. Ah, Lita missed. Come on, Lita. So I don't think I saved any time on that cycle, but normally if you have Lita knock the orbs down, it's faster. Ah, man, and a fireball. Come on, orbs. Please, orbs. There you go. So 7 seconds lost from the fireball, but I think I had that as well on the previous run. And the 2-orb one Lita doesn't actually help you with, which is unfortunate. So that's probably another 3 or 4 seconds lost.
僕があんな奴に負けるはずがない。負けるはずがないんだ。
Okay, spear. This is the hard side. Orbs, slightly slower than spear, but easier to hit him on. And at the bottom, he's got 2, 3, and 4 orb combos. This one's always the 5 orb combo, so there's no variation on this one. I like the top so much better because you can at least hit him on every single move. All right, still ahead. I need like a great Gerard fight. The one before this was ridiculous. So unless we have super amazing luck on Gerard, I'm going to lose a bunch of time here. But not a bad run. Everything up to this point has been really good. I'm going to need him to go completely Mike Tyson on me and get all of the throws. And start off with Beanstalks. Give me the 0 dragon start. Oh, that's nice. 0 dragons. Give me another 0 dragon. 0 to 3 dragons here at the beginning. Oh, nice. Double zeros. I mean, that's the best you can hope for, but so much more of this fight is going to be RNG for the hits. Okay, punch. Give me another punch. Beanstalk. Wow, this is the perfect Gerard. Nope, rock. Ah, he fooled me. I thought he was being such an awesome guy. Okay, Beanstalk. One more hit. Okay, that's rock. He was doing so good. And then he does the rocks. 2237. That was unexpected. That was a really amazing start to Gerard. If only he had kept that up. I got every single one of the throws.